All right, what's going on, guys? We're back at it with another NFL DFS breakdown for Fanduel. Lineup last week, it was kind of rocky, but it ended up cashing. I don't have the lineup right now. You got it right.
Yeah, I got it in front of me. You went with the double stack with Nico and Diggs. We were pretty set on Stroud from the beginning of the week, and he was fine. We thought he was probably the most likely to get 300 passing yards. He got there in two tuds, 17 rushing yards, which is pretty good. Um, Flag playing on Chuba, who is still pretty owned, 20-ish% it looks like, but he really should have had 30 fantasy points. He got stuffed three times at the 1-inch yard line. But he had 23, so no complaints. Bijan, never clicking him again at 8K plus. There's just no reason to. That offense just does not flow through him. I mean, last night we saw it again. Falcons had, 36 points, and he was just not involved to nearly the degree of an 8K player. Um, Kirk was a run back in the game stack, which was pretty good. He's always a fine play with Ingram out. Looks like Brian Thomas is going to have a pretty good week this week. I like him. And Najee, who just continues to stink. And I don't know. I think Warren's probably back this week, so I don't know if I'll be on Najee. We'll see.
It seems like I'm on that every year, like, oh, Najee breakout year, and then he gets like 5 rushing yards. Whatever, dude. Let's just jump into it. What is wrong with this? Hold on. Um, Wait, do you see my screen?
Nope.
I click share screen and it's like not doing nothing. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. The hell? Hold on. There we go. All right, quarterbacks. Is there anyone that really stands out? Josh Allen at 9.3 is absurd.
That is a steep tag. It could be a fun environment. I don't know. It just like it's kind of a slept on game, I feel like this week, but I don't know, maybe it's more of like a better real life game than a fantasy game.
That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, 9,300 is you're basically asking him to have a floor of 25. So he needs like 50 rushing yards, probably a rushing score that's 11 and two passing tuds. Eh, I don't know. Lamar, sure. I mean, 50 total in that game. Bengals defense is horrendous. The ceiling is there. I don't love the stacking options. You probably just want to run them naked. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, Zay's like 7K. Doesn't seem,
I
but they haven't had to use him. I mean, the Ravens just kind of been leaning on Henry the last few weeks.
yeah, that's my thing. If you're going Lamar, you can just be ballsy, just run him naked. But I mean, I you know this too, and you're the same way. We always need to have some sort of stack. So I mean, I think Zay's like 6,900. But even if you want to get Derrick Henry, who's 9,200,
It's so hard to click him. I
I
mean,
know
based on how he's been playing, he deserves it, but can he continue these 30 bombs? I don't know.
there's got to be like a
Daniels,
game where he's
yeah.
nothing.
Daniels is fine. He's probably hit his appropriate price now. Last week at 82 felt right too, but he's been continuing just basically to hit 20 every game. So maybe closer to 9 is probably his fair price tag just because of the rushing floor. And you can play him. I'm probably not getting there this week at that tag.
Yeah, same.
Stroud, 84, no rushing upside. Probably off. I know I say the same thing, and I'm probably like love, but they're basically two guys that I think are most likely to get the 300-yard bonus. Same with Dak, but he has a tougher matchup. Um, Love's got some nice stacking options this week. everyone's going to click on Wicks and Reed, and the run back with Kyron is probably going to be pretty popular. I don't know how to get different there. I'm just gonna have to see if there's like any injury news over the next 48 hours to like find some unique pieces. I like Joey B if he gets some lower ownership, which I don't have ownership in front of me. I don't know if you do. I haven't looked. Uh,
I wrote down ownership, and of course I didn't get Burrow, but I kind of like him.
yeah.
But
Purdy, I imagine will be, I mean, kind of owned just because of the way the game sets up. It's pretty high total, decent favorite, good stacking options. You could stack him with a running back too. Like, just hope they keep driving down the field. Maybe put up 28 to 35 real points, and then Purdy's involved in three touchdowns, and Mason's involved in two. I
Brock's
don't know.
projected to be the highest owned at 12% at the moment.
Who is?
Brock Purdy.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah,
It's like him
if
and
he's the high zone, I'm probably not there. But if it comes down for whatever reason, I probably have some. Fields, I mean, absolute monster game last week. Absolute monster game. And I literally said on the show last week, I was like, one of these days he's gonna have one of those rushing days. I said 100 rushing yards, but he had 50 rushing yards and two rushing scores. So, I don't know. I mean, I did see that Pickens was 6K, which is a pretty nice tag to stack with. You could pretty much do whatever you want with the rest of the lineup if you pay for that stack. Plus, if we're already off Najee because he hates us, it's like kind of okay, I guess. Probably off Kyler here. No Gino for me. No Caleb. No Dalton. Lawrence is like, I don't know. I keep wanting to
interesting.
play him, but I mean, this is probably the best matchup you can have for him. Uh, he's
It's
got some good stacking
interesting.
options as well, and there's some run backs with. I mean, if you want to pay down for a Sermon, which is probably as gross as it sounds.
So it's funny because I was writing my shit down yesterday and I'm like, Trey Sermon, what's going on? And then I check Underdog and it's Jonathan Taylor's likely to miss time. I'm like, oh, I didn't even see that.
Mhm.
I don't
And
really
with
sorry, go ahead.
Flacco playing, you get some nice actual run backs because AR is horrendous and just wants to run the ball every play. Gets hurt. At least Flacco is probably going to throw it 35 times. That means Downs and Pittman are in play. Nothing else here. Is Drake May going to start anytime soon?
I don't know. New England's a dumpster fire. They keep putting
We'll
out
see. I mean,
Jacoby
if he
Brissett.
starts whenever that happens, that'd be an interesting play. It's not the best matchup this week, but I'm waiting for Drake May.
I don't have anything else to add really. I like the narrative here with Caleb because of the whole trade bullshit. It's home versus Carolina. I know their offense has been better with Bears and Bengals legend Andy Dalton, but this defense is going to lock him down. Kind of the same thing with like DJ Moore because he was a part of the trade. That's something to be a little different about, but Lawrence looks solid in this spot here because, like you said, you can do like a run back with Sermon. I might make a Justin Fields lineup just because. Running backs, what do you think?
When I was doing the optimizer earlier, top four guys that were popping were Mason, Kyron, Chuba, Walker. So let's just talk about those guys. Mason, I don't, I mean, I get it. 87 for a workhorse. I don't know. It just really depends on the week. Like, he's probably safe floor of like 12, but is he really going to get you like 25? I don't know. Maybe. Probably off Derek here. Probably would lean on Mason for the 500 cheaper. Kyron as well. I mean, Green Bay's giving up some monster games for running backs. Now that I think about it, Sparkley went off on them. JT went off on them, and Aaron Jones last week did pretty well. So I like Kyron. I'm off Cook. I never play Cook. I don't know why. Mixon, I haven't really looked at his injury status all that much, but not the worst matchup in the world. Connor, maybe. A Chain, I can't with that offense right now. Brian Robinson, is Eckler still out?
He fully practiced yesterday.
Yeah, never mind. Would have been a little bit of a boost. I'd rather play Brian Robinson when he's like 7,200. Kenneth, I guess. I don't know. Do you see that weird flip thing he did?
Yeah, it
That
was
was
awesome.
nuts.
That rocked. That fucking rocked.
Travis, I don't know what to make of Travis. He just does not look efficient. Like 3 yards per carry. Where's the explosion that we're used to?
I can't with that guy. He fumbled at the goal line when we needed him the most.
Yeah.
He's banned.
How many times are we gonna get stuffed at the goal line one way or another?
Oh yeah, Hubbard like 2 plays in a row
Yeah.
versus
Jacobs also fumbled into the end zone. Yeah.
yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck all of them.
So, I mean, in this range, my favorite play is probably Hubbard. Pharisee's susceptible to run game. Like, oh, Najee's gonna pop in the optimizer, but I don't know if I can do it. Nothing else here. I mean, like I mentioned, Sermon's like I don't know. He's not very good, but he's 5,900, so that's something.
Something I saw
Mm,
actually, Antonio Gibson is supposedly gonna get more snaps because I guess Stevenson has been fumbling the ball and just not being super efficient. So I guess if you're playing multiple lineups and you want to go a little different, he's 5,400. He can catch two. It's not like he's just a straight up running back, so definitely something to look into. This area is disgusting. Want to
yeah,
move over
not
to
much
wide
else there, I
receiver?
think.
Yeah. All right, wide receivers.
I don't think a lot of people are going to click Lamb this week. Do you?
No, just because of
Matchup?
Pittsburgh defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be you'll be different. You just better hope he goes insane and Dallas wakes up.
This is the Jamar Masterclass type of game for him to have when the Bengals need it the most, but I don't know. It's just 9,300 is a lot of coin for a receiver. I don't know. I like him the most of all these top price guys. Like 9K for Nico now is interesting, I guess. I mean, he's been the best receiver over the last couple weeks, but I never saw him getting up this high. DK, sure. Malik's probably not going to play, right? Concussion usually takes a week.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything, so
Debo, meh. Diggs, meh. Marv, meh.
I know you're gonna think this is gross. If Neighbors is actually ruled out, are you playing Wan'Dale Robinson, who's been like the clear-cut wide receiver too?
I mean, if I want 12 catches for 40 yards, maybe.
I kind of saw the look on your face. I'm like, shit, I probably shouldn't have asked that.
Where's the upside? I mean, especially on Fanduel where it's half PPR. I mean, maybe on
Yeah, that's
DraftKings for full
true.
PPR, sure. You get all the bonuses too, but I don't know. I just don't see it. And I also don't know his price. I have to look. Um, Jade Reed's a pretty interesting play. I don't know if you want to play him or Wicks. I have to look at ownership. Plus, I think Wicks is what, 1,400 cheaper, maybe?
Breed right now is like the highest projected on right now at like
Oh, then
18
yeah.
and a half percent.
That's still not that high though.
Almost as well.
For I feel like the ownership is pretty spread out this week. I don't know.
Well, and it's
Maybe it's not that
also
big of a deal.
Friday. it's
Yeah,
gonna fluctuate. It probably already changed since last night.
it's true. Not much here in this range. I mean, if you're playing the Burrow stack, T's pretty interesting. Like we talked about Zay, they haven't really needed him at 69, but he's he's kind of interesting. Brian Thomas looks pretty good. I know you're circling him. DJ Moore, like you said, the narrative script, baloney. Maybe you can get there for that. JSN, he gets like 3 targets or 15 targets a week. There's no way to determine what the hell's going on there.
On Hill
Cooper's,
61.
yeah, Cooper's kind of interesting again. I mean, we're gonna talk about this guy every week just because I think he's had over 8 targets in every game so far, which is nice for someone that's 6,200 bucks. He's one of the few actual threats in that offense. I think Njoku's back this week, which maybe opens things up a bit more. I don't know,
Joe Mixon not expected to play week 5.
bruh. I'm not playing Cam Akers.
I have my own lineup with Cam Akers. I'm like, all right, this is the Cam Akers week. I think he got me like 5.
Yeah. And is Pierce gonna play or is he out too?
Haven't seen nothing.
Well, yeah, the Texans are a mess. Stroud might throw it 50 times. Um, Kirk, it's just as interesting as Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas probably is a little bit more of the deep throw like ability, but I don't know. I mean, Trevor missed Kirk on a 60-yard bomb last week, like literally a walk-in touchdown. He overthrew him by like 5 yards. It's not ideal. Pittman's probably going to project a little bit, 61 with Flacco in. Definitely rather play Pittman than Downs at the same price, I think, just based on talent. But I don't
I
know.
remember when Pittman was like 8K plus, seeing him at 61 is weird.
Yep. And same with Pickens. He's usually like 7K-ish, but they just don't throw the ball enough to where, I don't know, the ceiling's still there because his target share is massive, but I don't know. Wicks is probably going to be the highest owned in this range.
No, easily.
Keenan is interesting at 58. Old man, Fatso. He could still getting like 10 targets for what just random days.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I read something that last week, since it was his first game back, they were kind of easing him back into the game or something, and I don't know. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues, and I was wondering why he wasn't getting the ball thrown to him a lot and whatever, but I I love every bear. I might make
Yeah, I mean
bear
Rome's
stack
cheap
every.
too. I see him there.
Yeah,
And some of these
decent.
cheaper guys like Tutu and Whittington, pretty decent run backs in that game stack. Whittington's 54. He was popping a bit. Let's see who else was there. I think that was it. Nothing really down here. This is way too far. Gross.
I don't have much else for others. We're kind of in the same boat with everything. Kirk, but Brian Thomas, Wicks, just because of Christian Watson being injured yet again forever. 'Cause I
Hmm.
guess he was supposed to go on IR, and they said no, we're not putting him on IR, but he's not expected to play. And then this is interesting here. I saw this yesterday. Dobbs questionable
Oh, I
for
didn't know that.
personal reasons. So Wiggs and Reed are going to be literally everything.
Yep, and Kraft, who we're about to talk about.
I was just going to say, I don't have much on here, but Musgrave, I don't know if he's like officially out, but he hasn't practiced.
I doubt he's gonna play.
So
And
5,300 seems kind of like play him.
it seems that way, especially with tight end just sucking so hard the first 5 weeks. Like we talked about Pat on the show like last week. I said he's been 5 for 50 every week. He's gonna fall in the end zone at some point, and he went for like 5 for 60 in one and got there finally.
I
Well,
made
we
my
also
own
mentioned
lineup
Schultz, who
and
is a dumpster fire yet again. Don't play
yeah,
Schultz.
yeah. Parkinson has been getting a lot of snaps and he's in like a lot, so I kind of like him. there's literally like nothing here. I guess this Theo Johnson guy has been getting a lot of snaps, but it's Daniel Jones. So
The tight ends just haven't really been utilized, but that's if Neighbors is out, maybe the target share is more spread out. Who knows? I don't know how that works for that offense.
Herbs has
Um,
been targeted a lot by Jaden Daniels. So if you want a
yeah.
cheap, you can, if you want to do a Washington stack, I guess you can throw him in. That's about it. I don't
I
really,
mean, at the top range, like I still like McBride. Is he gonna play?
I haven't seen anything. Oh, he practiced fully yesterday. I didn't know that.
That's good. I like
That's
him still.
actually
I like Ferg. Ferg's a pretty good run back if you're playing like a field stack. And I guess Kraft and Njoku would be like my top four.
Is this finally going to be the week where you have a lineup from the Sunday night football game? Because Dallas Pittsburgh is Sunday night football.
It could be the week. It could be the week.
This is going to be disgusting. It could pay off because you'll have obviously some pieces from the early games, and then you might have like part of your stack. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't think there's much else to talk about. Am I missing
I
anything?
think
Do you have anything?
I don't really have much for defense either. I think that's pretty much it. Make sure to stay up to date with injury news and ownership. We'll probably post some things on our Twitter, so make sure to follow us there and like and subscribe if you haven't already.